Thanks for clicking on State of the City. My name's Todd Prafke. I'm the City Administrator here in St. Peter. We really appreciate the time checking us out on Facebook or our website or on our YouTube channel. Got to get right to business. Today is Thursday, April 6th. I'm a couple of days behind. Normally I try and do this on the Tuesday after that workshop Monday. Here's an example of a sample of the workshop from just Monday night. And so that's one of my main missions for today on this beautiful sunny day, is to talk about some of the agenda items on this workshop and also provide a few tidbits of information. So let me get going with that. The first item that I want to mention is that tourism, Chamber and Tourism Agreement. And as some of you might know, that Chamber has done the work of the Tourism Bureau for many years here in St. Peter, and they have been compensated for that based on they get a little slice of the lodging tax dollars. So a little while ago, the Chamber Executive Board and the Chamber Exec came forward and said, we got to have a little bit more money for doing this work. It hasn't changed for really more than a decade, and so that's got to change a little bit for us. And so the thought is that there needs to be a more formalized agreement how this all fits together. And so the council discussed again a more formalized agreement. And that agreement not only spells out kind of the expectations on the part of the city and on the part of the chamber for the work that needs to be done for the Bureau, but also sets out the amount of compensation. And so that compensation will go up a little bit. Again, it hasn't changed for more than a decade, I think. And so it's not unappropriate that it change a little bit based on costs and all the activity that goes on related to tourism within our community. So anyway, that's what's going on with that first one. The second one is MediaCom franchise. As some of you may know, we have two what used to be called cable television providers or video service providers within St. Peter. And so now it's MediaCom and it's Consolidated Communications. And so we entered into and have always had with both of these entities or their previous ownerships, previous names, franchise agreements which are provided for under the Telecommunications Act. And so this is no different. Those franchises were done and a renewal needed to be put in place. And so Consolidated Communications has approved one for them, but MediaCom kind of hasn't gotten theirs done yet. And I'm not sure what the issue is because it matches exactly what Consolidated Communications is. But for whatever reason, it's been a little bit slow. But the goal for this meeting was to update the council where it was at. And frankly mention that, well, come on, MediaCom, let's get on the stick. Everybody else has gotten their work done. It's your turn to get your work done. And so we anticipate that will come to a future council meeting for action and really push them along to make that work go. One of the things that's really important is that they provide resources, and some of those resources go towards keeping our public access channels going. So for most folks, it's Channel 7 and Channel 8 where you see kind of the billboard thing, or sometimes we call it the bulletin board of all the public notices that go through and the spaghetti feeds and the events that are going on in St. Peter. It's also the channel that shows school board meetings and council meetings and, well, this video blog and other things that are produced within our community. So we take those resources and pump them into keeping those channels filled with content and operational. It takes equipment and time and effort, so that's how that gets paid for. Last on the list that you'll see here is a City Hall tour. There's the agenda again. You'll see City Hall tour. So the council came down to view the City Hall. If you are an avid watcher of council meetings or pay attention to our packets, you'll note that not on a super regular basis, but always a couple of times during the spring, summer, and fall months, we go out on tour so the council member can see whether it's a wastewater treatment plant or whatever it might be. This time it was the City Hall. The reason it was the City Hall is because as a part of the 2017 budget, the council set aside some money to do some improvements, not super big improvements, but a series of relatively small improvements to some restrooms, some painting, some carpeting, some things like that in many, well, probably in a lot of instances haven't been done since the tornado and repairs had to be done to the building. So there are some things that need to be refreshed and updated. And so that's part of the goal, also making the building more customer friendly and easier for use by staff with storage and all those kind of things. So they wanted to take a look, and I thought it was appropriate for them to take a look. Some of the projects have started and have been completed, but there's a few other ones, and they're all, they're $1,000 here, $2,000 there, and not that that's real money, but it's not one big massive project. It's going to be a series of smallish projects over the next 6 months or so, give or take a little bit. So anyway, they took a tour on that. Now, some of the tidbits that I have going on. I do want to mention Traverse Green. I had a great discussion with someone that I knew kind of in a previous life about their interest in Traverse Green. So here's kind of the information for Traverse Green. You'll see our Facebook down there and our email website as well. and phone numbers where you can contact us to learn more about Traverse Green and affordable housing opportunities for working families. We're really excited about this. We've had a couple of closings now, and we have a couple more schedules, so some folks are starting to move out there. Some lots have been sold. Some other homes are going to start to be built. And so very cool stuff that's going on out there. So we're really excited about that. This really falls in the same structure as did Nicollet Meadows subdivision, which is kind of up by the Jefferson Ball Fields, and Washington Terrace subdivision, which is on the north end of town, just a good baseball throw from where my house is. And so we're really excited to help working families get into housing within our community. I also want to mention the hot sheet. Here's an example of what the hot sheet is. It's our weekly electronic newsletter, and we email it right to your inbox. You can read it or not, but there's always lots of great information included. You can also get it on our website, but if you want it to be emailed to you, let me know. Let Barbara know, and we'll put you on our list and email it to you just about every week, probably 49 weeks out of a year, 48 weeks out of a year. On Wednesday, it comes out. I also want to mention that at upcoming Monday's council meeting, we're going to be approving bids for seal coating. Here's the map for seal coating. So there you can see where Hallett's Pond is located, so that gives you kind of a frame of reference, and the track there is the fairgrounds. So all those red lines kind of show the general area of where seal coating is going to happen. Now, it's not going to happen for a while. It's late August, but I wanted to get this out there for you to see a little bit more about. If you have questions, let us know. This map, by the way, is available on our council packet. It will be available for Monday night's council packet as well. So Friday afternoon, the packet gets online, so you'll be able to watch it there. Seal coating is that, well, we put that oilish kind of stuff on the roadway, and then that purplish kind of rock gets on there for a couple days. You drive on it, it gets hard, really compacted, and then we sweep up the excess. What's good about this, why it's an important part of our street maintenance program, is because it helps, well, just as the name kind of insinuates here, it seals. And so it helps shed water from that bituminous and underneath that roadway, which is what we want. When water gets in the roadway, that's when potholes develop. It's that frost, thaw, freeze, thaw cycle that creates potholes. So by making that road better able to shed water, making it a hard surface, it helps prevent potholes in the future. So an important part of our maintenance program. I also want to mention River's Edge Hospital. So here, urgent care at River's Edge. I wasn't really going to talk about urgent care, although I think it's really important. And they have established hours, and that's been very busy lately with a lot of congestion and other things. So if you need help, that's a great place for you to go. I just wanted to mention River's Edge Hospital in general, and that the council continues to evaluate opportunities for expansion out there and how that's going to work. Now, at the last council meeting, they took some action to direct staff to do a number of different things, which include the top budget number for an allowable expansion, approved some additional work on the part of staff. Now, on Monday night, the upcoming Monday night, they're going to talk about an RFP, which stands for Request for Proposals, for construction managers for a project. If we go forward, we have to have a construction manager. Now, this isn't a surefire thing. We don't know for sure that we're going forward, but in any event, we need a construction manager to help assemble the budgets and the very specific numbers as we go through the evaluation process and as we go through the USDA loan process. So this is part of that ongoing process, inching forward, inching forward, inching forward until we have all the information. It's really not a done deal until the council accepts bids that we're building or accepts a loan from USDA to make this go. But I wanted to keep you up to date because it is such an important thing within our community. Hospitals are critical to the fabric of communities like St. Peter, and so we want to make sure that you know what's going on with that. I also want to mention that tonight, Thursday night, the 6th, as I mentioned earlier, we have a meeting with all of the youth associations, so wrestling and softball and baseball and volleyball and soccer and all those folks. And so this is something that we do on an annual basis to talk about what fields are going to be available, what capital plans do we have, what plans or what needs do those associations have or do they want to see move forward, or frankly, what kind of resources can they contribute to match with our dollars to help make some of these facilities better. So it's a wonderful meeting, and it's filled with volunteers that really care about these youth and some adult organizations that provide activities for our young people. Baseball, soccer, volleyball, well, you name it, there's lots of them. And so we're always excited to get together with them, Gustavus, and the school district, who all help with providing facilities and making some of this go for the youth within our community. So we're excited about that meeting. Maybe next time I'll try and remember to give you a report on some of the things that we're talking about there. So with that, I'm getting to the end of my time. Here you go, our standard fantastic graphic, which is email me at. Here's our website. You can see a lot of the information that I just showed on our website. Or we would love it if you would like us on Facebook. We put a lot of stuff on Facebook, so it's a wonderful way to get caught up. And certainly with those more immediate things we put on Facebook so that folks can know what's going on out there. And give me a call. If you have a question, give me a call. Or if you want me to come out and talk with your group or organization, we're happy to do it. Whew. And with that, that's the end of this edition of State of the Cities. I hope you have a great rest of the week. The weather's supposed to be fantastic, so get out there and enjoy beautiful St. Peter. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.